Welcome to solving equations with the TI-84. Some solutions will miss being accurate. There are things to be aware of. However, in most cases, it will be a very simple process. So how to use the solver to find solutions of equations. Load the equation into y equals using the key in the upper left. If the equation is not equal to 0, subtract one side of the equation from the other. For example, solving x squared equals 2x plus 4 for x requires y equals x squared minus, open parentheses, put the other side of the equation in, 2x plus 4, and close parentheses. Press second calc 2. Pick an interval typing numbers when prompted. Left bound question and enter. And for right bound and question mark and enter. Then give the calculator a starting point by supplying a number for yes, which also is on your calculator going to have a question mark following it. Most of the time, things are not simple. However, there are things you should know that are not obvious. Before getting to those things, we will get the process down with an example. I like using a rather simple example so that we can understand that we have the process down. So we're going to solve x cubed plus 1 equals 0. First, we enter y1 equals x cubed plus 1. And this is what you should see on your screen. Then we're going to type in second calc, which is the shift of the trace key, and select the number 2 for 0 right here. So we move on, and we'll get a graph, which I like because you got a visual. Now it's going to ask me for left bound. What it's looking to do is set up a search interval to find where the 0 is. Well, this is left of the 0, so it's fine. I just hit enter. And this actually blinks until I hit enter, then it moves on. And it's going to leave a line like this. And it's going to repeat over here with the y equals. Now, I moved it off the vertical axis so we could see. But this is your search interval. It's important that be on your screen. In other words, if you got your screen set for x equal negative 10 to 10, don't do a search interval from negative 20 to 40. It has to be completely on the screen, the whole search interval. If that means changing the extent of your screen and the domain, then that's what you need to do. And then it's going to ask me to guess. This just gives it a starting point, so it can converge to 0. Now, we're not going to go through Newton's method. That involves calculus, and I realize most people solving equations are in algebra. So that would be pointless. So let's just say the calculator knows what to do. What we need to know is the commands. So it's going to go to x equal negative 1 at y equals 0. And that is the solution. If you plug negative 1 in cube plus 1, it does give me the 0. So it will just jump right there. So the solution appears down at the bottom of the screen. Wow, it could be easier. Now, I'll caution you here that the calculator is only going to find real number solutions. X cubed has 3 solutions. And so 2 of those solutions, x cubed plus 1 equals 0, has 3 solutions. 2 of them are complex numbers. And even if you set your calculator in A plus BI mode, they're not going to be found. So It's a waste of time to look. Now, if there's more than one real number solution, uh, then you got to do the process for each one. You have to go set up an interval and a guess. Make sure that when you make your guess, that don't go back to the same solution, that you're going to be going to the other. And you do that, but how you set the interval up and where you set the guess up. Now, the calculator can miss a solution. And this is a problem. Here I have an easier uh, equation. X squared equals 0. So I said y equals x squared. And I went through the process of setting my search interval, and I hit enter. And instead of going to x equals 0, x squared equals 0 at 0, it gave me this error. No sign change, quit. And then it told me that it did not detect the sign change to give an estimated result for the allowed number of iterations. What that means is to calculate it, you don't want it trapped in an infinite loop. It's only going to go through a certain number of attempts to get to the 0. And if it takes too many, it's not going to find that 0. So we have to sort of say, well, we've got a problem. And the problem's caused by it's looking for the graph to go from positive to negative or from negative to positive. And this graph is positive, 0, and positive. There is no sign change. If it would have happened to hit the 0, it would have been happy, but this one didn't. It is necessary to have a grasp of mathematics and overrule the calculator when necessary. Remember, the calculator is a tool. Now, here's another issue. What does the calculator do when asked to solve x cubed over x equals 0? Well, I hope that all of you are saying that can't happen because I can't divide by 0. When x is 0, I can't divide. And it looks like if I cancel x with x cubed, I'd have x squared, which would take me to 0. So again, it's going to draw a nice little parabola. And while I was thinking it would probably get to the same point, we got to remember, this is an electronic device, and it works by connecting a bunch of pixels. And so a lot of times we have values that get close, and then it just says, okay, that's close enough. In this case, it came up with x equal negative 6.77 e to the negative 34th. Well, that is not dividing by 0. That's true. So it was happy. It didn't find the problem. What does that really mean? Well, that's scientific notation for negative 6.77 times 10 to the negative 34th. That is a very small number. So, and this is what it looks like. When I was teaching using Revit calculators, I would tell my students, that's a calculated 0. It's so close. It really means 0. But here, if it does mean 0, I got another problem. I have a division by 0, and I can't allow that. The fact is, there's a hole in the graph. But by connecting pixels, that just got right past the calculator's ability to see it. And so we did not pick up the fact the equation had no solution. So we got to be careful. Again, it comes down to your knowledge. How much do you know? And you got to help the calculator in a case like this. Well, thank you for viewing. I have other videos in my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll be able to find them easily. I'm planning more on using the TI-84 in the very near future. Perhaps I'll get a few of them done this week, and hoping I do. But in any event, the channel will continue to grow. Thank you.